Hello. So basically, this is kind of like a rant about why I think the WCA removing clock is not a good decision. I don't have a script or anything. I'm just talking off the top of my head. I have some clock solves in the back, and I'm including scrambling to, help the WCA understand that even kids know how to scramble it and not miss-scramble. And yeah. So basically, my first point is that, they think it's not, it doesn't fit well with the other events. I would arguably say FTO fits worse than Clock does, because, Clock, it's like an original Rubik's puzzle, so it definitely belongs, because the guy made it, the guy who made, Erno Rubik literally made it, so that's why it belongs. Also, even my mom made this point, which really shows that it's not that hard to understand, because my mom's not really that into cubing. She doesn't know a whole lot about it. But, having different events is good, because it, changes it up. It doesn't make it so boring. I think I heard this point somewhere else, but I'm just including it in here. But when everything looks the same, basically 2 through 7... 3 through 7 are practically the same thing, plus, edge pairing and centers for 4 through 7, but they're all the same, pretty much. They all have at least one same step, which is 3x3 stage, and then obviously 3x3, that's the entire thing, but you get the point, which, diversity, same with Megaminx. Megaminx is basically just a big 3x3. Pyrrha takes stuff from 3x3, like making a layer or a face, layer, but maybe face. I don't really know that much about method. Same with, Skewb, but Clock is, something completely different. Also, another point that my mom made, taking a lot of points from her, because she made good points, and she doesn't know a whole lot about cubing, as I previously mentioned, so it just really shows that even non-cubers, know what I guess a good decision is that how they're saying that Clock is not spectator friendly. First of all, I don't think the WCA isn't meant for spectators. It's meant for the competitors, the cubers. The spectators are there, and most likely most of them are probably parents and other cubers, but it's not made for them, it's made for the cubers. And then, when you say it's not spectator-friendly, normally sprint events aren't very spectator-friendly, and I would say Clock is, one of the most spectator-friendly events, in my opinion, because it's really cool, because it's they solved the front, but did they solve the back? Because you have to check it, because it's one of those events where it's really easy to DNF, so it's, interesting to see if they solve the back, and there's an extra added layer of making it cool for the spectator, where 2x2 Pyrrha, Skewb, I can't think of any. I think that's all the sprint events, but those events, you're solving them in 2 seconds, sometimes less. The top cubers, they're solving them normally in less than 2 seconds. You can't see that 2x2 world record 0.39, you can't see that. That's not spectator friendly. Same with big cubes. A lot of people hold them under the table, which is way less. That's probably the least spectator friendly thing. Same with Megaminx. People do that too. So why aren't we removing those? Feet. Some people are using feet as an argument, as they removed feet and there was no fuss, or there wasn't that big fuss. I wasn't cubing then, so I don't really know a lot about it, but there was a lot less fuss. First of all, feet is just unsanitary. Imagine scrambling that on the 5th solve, where it's if the person is nervous and then their cube is sweaty, that's just gross. Plus solving it, if that's your main cube, if you don't have a different cube for feet, that is absolutely gross. And imagine touching it. Yeah, you get the point. Very unsanitary. And then also Clock, Clock just got big, and a lot of people like it, and big revolution in methods. pretty recently, like within the past 3 years, I believe. I know a lot of people said this, but I'm pretty sure it's the 7th most popular event. So people actually like to do clock. Also, in my opinion, FTO is really hard to learn. Like, I would say it's only second behind Square One, and clock is super beginner friendly. You can learn it. It took me 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes from the JPerm tutorial. It took me 5 minutes, and I knew how to solve it. 7Simul also didn't even take me that long. It took me like a week to be able to do it like without my notes. So that also just like proves how easy it is. And then I heard Dylan Miller say this, that clock is just like turning without thinking about it. Or not turning without thinking about it, but like turning without really needing to know anything. But that's the same with like 3x3. Like you get to a certain point where after you learn algs and you have them in muscle memory, you don't really think about what you're doing. You just see it and do it. And I think that most events are like that. So that's not really a good point. I'm going to go back to talking about Square One. But Square One is not the hardest event to scramble, but it's definitely up there behind, obviously, like, Big Cubes and Megaminx, and, like, pretty much that's it. But Square One is not that easy to scramble, and clock is extremely easy to scramble. It's, like, very intuitive. It's just, like, UR4. It's just, like, the upright pin 4, and then, like, positive or minus. It's, like, very easy to scramble. And then they say that they need extra equipment, but at least in Minnesota, where I go to comps, the cube covers they use, I'm pretty sure this is also what they use at, like, most bigger competitions, but the cube covers that you use for clock, you also used for Square One, so that's also not a valid point. And, like, I'm glad that they added FTO, but they should have not announced it at the same time, because that really degraded people liking FTO being added. So, I don't know, it just was not good timing at all. And obviously, I'm a clock main, so I want it back. Yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. A lot of other people have made good points. Oh yeah, if you go to Livia Kleiner's channel, there's a petition there, so you should go sign it so that clock can come back.